Tonight, I would like you to welcome one of our newest members. Although she's only been to 4 meetings, she's not wasting any time to present you with her icebreaker. The benefits of being a late bloomer. Please welcome Ellen Knapp.
I can try it.
Emil, do you want to turn off the light?
You know, it might be all right.
Oh, is it? Okay.
I can, I'll try it.
Is it okay if I photograph you too?
What are we doing this for?
It's for the website.
Okay. Are you the Toastmaster?
I'm
Okay. Mr. Toastmaster, ladies and gentlemen. In some ways, I've often been a late bloomer. This might seem like a drawback, and actually it has been an advantage to me to take my own time to arrive at decisions that have benefited my life. And throughout my life, I've noticed that in taking my own time to arrive at decisions based on my own experience, things have turned out for the better. One way that I measure myself as a late bloomer is against my twin brother. I have a twin brother who people sometimes have asked me if we are identical, but that's impossible. He's currently 6'4" and he's about 200 pounds, and we get along great. We've always gotten along really well, and I love being a twin. On the other hand, we're very different. My brother has often been able to make decisions a lot quicker than I have. He, let's see, I had my idea. I'll just go on to say that I tend to make my decisions based on intuition and trial and error and luck. One area that I've noticed, I remember that I was really a late bloomer was in high school, when it was time to pick what college I was going to go to. So in my junior year, I had to decide. Everybody in New England, I'm from New England, and in the late 60s and early 70s, the people that I know were really competitive and really definite about going to college, and I was not. My brother applied to Princeton. He got a athletic scholarship into Princeton and was completely thrilled about it, and I had no interest at all in going to a school like that. In my senior year, I still didn't know what I was going to do. And at the last minute, somebody told me about a small liberal arts college in Florence, Italy. And I kind of knew where Italy was. And I didn't know anybody there, didn't speak any Italian. But something about this idea seemed like a great idea to me, so I applied, got in on a work scholarship, and I went over there for 2 years by myself. And when I arrived there and throughout the whole time, I really knew that these were going to be some of the best 2 years of my whole life. It was amazing to be in Florence. It was a art-filled, amazing old city, and I loved it. And it was really great, and I totally made the most of it. At the end of 2 years, I came back home. My brother was still at Princeton, doing really well. His plans were to follow in my father's footsteps and become a teacher and a coach. And so all his decisions seemed sort of easy. I really didn't have an idea of what I was going to do. I was really impacted by the 1960s. I loved the kind of new openness, the emphasis on creativity, the notion of being nonconformist. And so I really wanted to meet other people like myself. So what I did was, when I was 20 years old, I got on a Greyhound bus, and I went from New England out to Santa Fe, New Mexico, to visit a friend as sort of an adventure. And I know my parents were worried about me, but they never held me back. I'm sure they thought I would go home, but I never did. And Santa Fe turned out to be the perfect kind of relaxed, non-competitive place for me to live for 12 years. After about that time, I'm in my 30s, I began to think I do want to have some kind of job that's more meaningful. What I was doing in Santa Fe was more like house painting, waitressing, landscaping, and so I really wanted something other than that. I applied to school in Boulder, Colorado, came up here, and in 3 years I got a bachelor's and a master's degree in psychology, and once again, by waiting and taking my time, late bloomer style, I really found what I wanted to do through experience rather than trying to match up with sort of a particular time frame. So accelerate ahead to my other area that I took a long time in, other than education, which took me 14 years, was marriage. My brother wanted to get married when he wanted to be married and have kids by the time he was 30. And I didn't have anybody that I wanted to marry. I had some close calls, but didn't meet the right guy yet. So that happened when I was 37, and it was a real blessing. So again, thank God I waited and kind of took my time and my own pacing. I met a man who was a retread. He was somebody who'd already been married and had the experience and sort of the realistic view about marriage. And plus he had two beautiful little boys who were 3 and 6 years old. As soon as I met them, I completely loved them all and couldn't stop thinking about them. And we've been together for 21 years now. So these are all examples of how taking my time and finding my own pace has totally paid off to give me sort of the perfect fit in life that I've loved. So being a late bloomer means a whole lot to me at this point, because I may not have had the drive and ambition that my brother did, but my own way has, both of our ways worked, and my way of taking longer worked for me really well. And I have to say, my brother, I left this out, but I left it out. Never mind.